Today we're doing an interview with Alana Carter. Very nice having you here.
Hi, I'm Alana Carter. I'm a professional race car driver from Canada. I've been racing for about 15 years now, and just in the last few years, I figured out how to really make a career out of this crazy journey. So I'm super excited to be here today. Thank you so much for having me on the pod, and I'm excited to get into it with you.
I'm curious to know what first drew you to racing.
So my family has quite a background in motorsports. My mom and dad actually met at the racetrack. My mom raced for a little while, and my dad continues to race. He's raced his whole life. He's like in his 60s, still being a local dirt track legend. So my parents got me into racing pretty young, and then I just kind of ran with it and went in a different direction. So I'm the first one in my family to do like sports car racing and actually try to make a career out of it, where everyone else has just done it as a hobby.
Very cool. For me, one of the biggest things like in motorsport is the cost, the financial cost, because I think everybody knows like how expensive it is. Me
Yeah.
growing up, like I always played racing games, video games, and it was always like really interesting for me to maybe potentially one day get there, but it was always the financial barrier that like held me back.
Yeah.
And it felt like super unattainable.
Yeah.
How did you manage like the financial costs?
So I have been very fortunate to be involved with a lot of scholarship programs that have helped me out a ton. So because there's a recent movement for women in motorsports, there's been a lot of programs that have kind of helped develop female drivers. So I've had very, very, very subsidized seats or completely free seats that have helped me out a ton. And if it wasn't for those programs, I don't think I would be racing at the level that I am, because I don't have that kind of budget.
Yeah. And what's something people don't realize about the business side of racing?
I think that it's the hardest part. Like people who aren't in racing probably don't recognize how much these race car drivers do, especially at like the low to middle tier level. We do everything ourselves. So other sports, you have the luxury of, being a hockey player, and that's what you're good at, and that's all you do, and you have a management team around you that takes care of everything else. Not in the racing world. We have to be our own salespeople, be our own accountants, do everything. We have to, often a lot of us are building our own websites and figuring everything out on our own. So it's very challenging, but I also find it super valuable, because I feel like it's given me the skills that if for some reason racing didn't work out, I could still step into another field and at least have some real life experience to apply.
Yeah, definitely. Like you can transfer that knowledge that you learned from the racing side to
Yeah, totally.
anything else that you want to do.
Exactly. Yeah. Once you've figured out how to like sell stuff and have those hard conversations, then things get a little easier.
What's been the most memorable race that you've raced in?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I would say it's stuck between two. Either my first TC America race this year, where I podiumed on my debut, which was super cool and super rewarding, or my Road Atlanta race this year, where it was like the most challenging race I've ever pushed through, and like everyone on our team was dying from heat stroke and nothing was going right, but we still managed to get a second place finish against all of the odds. So yeah, like the cool being successful on debut is really exciting, but also that like grueling, hard, pushing your body to its absolute limits and then getting a good result is also super rewarding.
How do you manage like the business side of things? Do you have like education in finance? Do you have like a, I don't know, background in entrepreneurship?
I have a little bit of experience just because I did get a business degree. So I was forced to take finance and accounting, but to be fair, I don't remember much of it at all. So a lot of it I've just kind of had to learn the hard way and from advice from other people, and a lot of research. So I have like incorporated my own business and had to learn how to do everything surrounding that. Finding a good accounting software to help me out has been huge, because it's actually really, really hard to track everything by hand. And yeah, just making sure that I allocate the time to get it done, I find is the most important. Like my life is super chaotic. My days are always super different. So even if I just have one day a week to get caught up on everything, that makes a huge difference for me.
If you could give one piece of advice to young women that are either entering entrepreneurship or maybe the racing industry, what would be that piece of advice that you give them?
Don't undervalue yourself. That has been one of the biggest things that I've learned, especially over just this past year, is learning that I have a lot to offer, even if it's just my brand image or my experience or something. I have something very unique that other people don't have, and I'm allowed to charge for it. Like, I'm providing someone value. I spent a lot of years underselling myself and not feeling like I could really actually put a dollar figure on what I have to offer, but we're working through that.